Yeah, baby.
She's so rotten, she wants migrants picking cotton. We present to you Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who made this shocking argument why America needs immigrants. Roll it, Alfred.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
When the wheels fall off.
You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
Tyrus, I go to you for no particular reason.
You ever wondered what would happen if Jasmine Crockett entered a verbal sparring battle with Tyrus and Greg Gutfeld, armed only with a smug grin and a rehashed soundbite? Let's just say that witness protection was required for her reasoning. The sarcasm from Gutfeld struck like a freight train. Tyrus threw anvil-like punchlines. Crockett, too? It appeared as though she had unintentionally RSVP'd to a roast rather than a debate. What caused the pandemonium? And why is it being replayed by everyone? Get ready. This degree of violence is probably beyond your comfort zone. But feel free to press play nevertheless.
Take it from there, Governor. I'm going to explain to you what happened.
Okay.
Same thing that happened on this show.
Yes.
She got the job. That was the get the job voice. Remember when I first met you? Good evening, Gutfeld.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. It's a real pleasure to be here. Oh, cool. Once I got the job, what it is, let's crack jokes. That's all it is. That's all it is. You know.
The name Jasmine Crockett seems like it would fit an action star from the 1980s, the kind you see leaping out of slow-motion explosions. Instead, she's playing chess with missing pieces in the political sphere. With its daring actions, witty banter, and possibly even a distinctive flair, you would think a name like Crockett would deliver the heat. Rather, it seems like a continuous barrage of platitudes and finger-pointing, with little substance and a lot of showmanship. She frequently gives the impression that she is unable to determine whether she is actually deconstructing the system or is simply caught in an endless Zoom call about it.
Jasmine Crockett still conceals the meaning of Hot Wheels. The Texas Congresswoman still won't apologize over making fun of Texas Governor Abbott's disability. Here's what she said that kicked it off.
We in these hot-ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now.
Whoa.
And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot-ass mess, honey. So,
Now she claims that she wasn't talking about Abbott's wheelchair at all. Yet she's mentioned Abbott's wheels before. In 2022, she posted Beto's rolling around the state. Where's Abbott rolling?
Since Jasmine Crockett gained notoriety more quickly than a TikTok dance that went viral, she has essentially perfected the skill of turning up and projecting a serious demeanor. However, in terms of substance, to put it mildly, the reviews aren't great. Her political career would go under binge regret if it were a Netflix series. When it comes time for action, the hero never quite appears despite all the hoopla dazzling. Commercials and dramatic teasers. Her focus is all on appearances, but when you look at the record, it feels less like leadership and more like viewing lengthy trailers for a film that will never be released.
To get the job, you gotta leave the Negro at home and do the what it is afternoon, and then once you get in, you can say whatever you want to say. Listen, everyone talks different with their crew and their people. Everyone has a different way of talking when they're with other people or whatever. She's too comfortable. And she thinks she's clever when she does that. But here's the cold part. Somebody's writing that for her.
Yeah.
That's why she had to remember and look back, because apparently Hot Wheels she thought was going to be someone thought it was a wonderful joke and it was going to do well. So she set it up, but she doesn't read good because she's like, and this, and then she said the Hot Wheels, and as soon as she said it, it didn't get the reaction that she thought it would.
How does she feel about Law and Order? This is the quintessential example of trying to be both tough on crime and let's maybe redefine what crime even is. In other words, she wants to appear woke without actually working for it. Asking someone else to do it for her is like attempting to give herself a pat on the back, because giving conflicting messages that leave people on both sides of the aisle perplexed is the epitome of leadership.
We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
Tyrus, I go to you for no particular reason. Is she making any point there?
Like this makes me wish my mom made different father choices.
What about her speeches? Think soggy tortilla, flimsy, flavorless, and packed with feel-good platitudes, buzzwords, and just enough woke lingo to make you question if she's trying to keynote a yoga retreat or run for government. You kind of think she'll end with a namaste or a happy let's vibe check this issue?
This is why when white people write black slang, weird happens.
Yeah.
And this is what happens.
Well,
Like, if I wanted to get ethnic on somebody, I wouldn't call Joe and be like, "Hey, Joe, write me some hood." No offense, Tyrus. I get right to it. Gee Willikers, that's not the guy. What? That doesn't sound like Joe Mackey.
But Crockett doesn't stop at hollow speeches. She comes armed with a portfolio of progressive policies that make about as much practical sense as a screen door on a submarine. Take her stance on crime reform. It's all buzzwords and good. Intentions on paper, but in practice, like handing out balloons in a tornado. Sweet sentiment, zero grip on reality. Want to help people? Fantastic. Just maybe don't detonate the entire justice system in the process. Then there's the parade of legislation she touts. Her bills? Think party favors. Flashy, noisy, and utterly forgettable. She knows how to chase headlines, no doubt. But when it comes to crafting laws that matter, crickets. You want to build a legacy? Try building something that lasts longer than a trending tweet. And let's not skip the self-anointed messiah complex. Crockett carries herself like she's destiny's pick to lead a revolution. But let's be real, the only thing revolutionary here is how quickly she mastered the art of saying nothing with flair. It's a talent, sure, just not the kind voters bank on. Then there's her social media strategy, a masterclass in performative politics. She nails the hashtags, jumps on every trending cause, and always seems ready to cancel someone, while ducking real accountability herself. It's like a political soap opera where the star never changes, never grows, but always finds time to gripe about the plot.
Is that he is a hot mess, honey.
Of course, Crockett now claims Hot Wheels was about shipping migrants out of the state. Don't you get that? Not the governor's condition. If only there was video that perfectly encapsulates the liberal inability to land a lick on MAGA. Turns out we have one. Roll it, Bjorn.
He's a racist.
How can I be racist?
If you voted for Trump, you're racist.
I hope you enjoy the
Never get tired of that.
And Tyrus, he doesn't just throw punches, he launches them like missiles. The way he dismantled Crockett, you'd think she tried to sneak a cheat code into politics. Watching him and Gutfeld roast her felt less like a debate and more like a heavyweight sparring with someone who wandered in from ballet rehearsal. Spoiler alert, Crockett got floored. Not by cheap jabs, but by facts and the weight of her own contradictions. She claims to fight for the people, but her actions tell a different story. More about chasing hashtags than crafting real change. It's the oldest game in politics. Look busy, talk loud, accomplish little. Except maybe perfecting the selfie. And the real kicker? While she preaches systemic change, the only system she seems loyal to is the one that keeps her brand intact. She's that student who volunteers for every group project, then ghosts when it's time to do the work. Loud, visible, and totally unprepared. If you're looking for a leader who turns passion into policy, keep scrolling. Jasmine Crockett's politics are all flair, no follow-through, more viral clips than real results, and definitely more drama than delivery.
So, Dana, Governor Hot Wheels, she claims that it had nothing to do with the fact that he actually moves by wheels in a wheelchair, and he's good looking.
Her cleanup was worse. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was super dumb. So basically she's saying, I didn't do it. And even I did do it though, we're the victim.
Ever notice how Jasmine Crockett talks about justice like it's a boutique brand you can grab online with free express shipping? She throws around words like equity, systemic reform, and community-led solutions, like they're magic spells, as if repeating them enough times will erase decades of policy failures. Her version of justice feels like political fairy dust, shiny, trendy, and utterly useless the second someone asks, okay, but how are you actually going to do that? It's the legislative equivalent of rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Instead of patching the leak, or even admitting the ship's going down, she's busy debating what color the chair should be. Meanwhile, voters looking for safer streets and solid policy get stuck in the whiplash of her tweets. One day it's defund the police, the next it's common sense crime measures. Spoiler, common sense doesn't include contradicting yourself mid-sentence. She talks like a rebel outsider, but cozies up to the same political elites she claims to challenge, about as anti-establishment as a pumpkin spice latte in October. And then there's the messaging, if you can even call it that. If Crockett's political career were a Netflix show, it'd be cliffers and contradictions. Every time she opens her mouth, there's a new twist that leaves people more confused than convinced. Is she for reform, against it, pro-policing, anti-policing? You'd get more clarity trying to solve a Rubik's Cube during a blackout.
Jasmine Crockett's got another hot take. No blacks and whites on a wedding cake. The Democrats' new chosen one, Jasmine Crockett, is in the news again for an old clip where she attacked Florida Rep. Byron Donalds for marrying a white woman. Roll it, Bertha.
Or literally, it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you.
That's not very woke, is it?
Crockett's policy proposals read less like serious governance and more like a BuzzFeed quiz. Which progressive icon are you? Except no one knows which option actually leads to results. Take her juvenile justice reforms. They sound compassionate until you realize there's no real plan for implementing them in high-crime communities. It's like slapping a Band-Aid on a broken leg and calling it surgery. To her credit, she's a natural on the mic. Her speeches feel like someone binge-watched TED Talks, cherry-picked the catchiest lines, and delivered them in one breathless, buzzword-packed sermon. Passion? Plenty. Practical solutions? Not so much. Watching her speak is like watching a motivational poster come to life. Uplifting at first, but hollow when it's time to actually fix something. And when it comes to constituent services, let's just say the vibe is more here to help herself than here to help you. While she floods timelines with justice reform hashtags, the day-to-day needs of her own district often fall by the wayside. People don't want politics as performance. They want action. But Crockett seems more interested in burnishing her brand for the next big leap than delivering real results for the people who sent her there in the first place.
Of course, Crockett isn't the only Democrat who's opposed to interracial marriage, or else more Democrats would have voted for this one. Racist! Tyrus, I go to you for no apparent reason. Do you have an opinion on this, or should I move on to somebody?
No, I just... It has to come from me.
Yes.
Okay. None of y'all are qualified. Not just for one thing, I'm mad at Charmaine the guy because he should have kicked her out. See, the problem is that we are allowing our own culture to be openly racist and get away with it. Now, if a white person is offended by that, and they should be.
If you were holding out hope that Jasmine Crockett had a solid track record on economic development or education, prepare for disappointment. Her approach mirrors the rest of her political playbook. Bold promises, flashy headlines, and barely a whisper when it comes to actual follow-through. It's like she's auditioning for most inspirational politician, but voters aren't looking for a pep talk. They're looking for a policymaker who delivers. And then there's the rhetoric. If Crockett's speeches were a drink, they'd be a frothy mix of hope, buzzwords, and a splash of "we'll see." She can sling terms like intersectionality and community empowerment with flair, but the substance rarely lives up to the packaging. It's the political equivalent of ordering a fancy latte and getting a cup of warm milk. Here's the kicker. Despite all the empty noise, she keeps her seat and the spotlight. Why? Because in today's political theater, it's not always about results. It's about how well you perform the role and how polished your Twitter feed looks. Crockett has mastered the art of appearing productive while accomplishing very little. It might not help her constituents, but it could earn her gold in the politics as performance Olympics.
They say something, it's like it's not the same thing. But if you say that, and another brother looks at you and goes, "Man, you wrong for that, and I don't want you on my show. Get the hell out." Because I'm telling you right now, if I was not on the show, which happens sometimes, and someone was sitting in his chair and he was complaining about black men this and black that, and they shouldn't be here, and you know what happens when a white woman marries a black guy, you would not have seen that guy in the next segment. He would have kicked his ass off, because you're not going to talk about somebody that I care about like that, or another person like that. That's the problem.
Meanwhile, Tyrus and Greg Gutfeld pull no punches. Watching them dismantle Crockett's talking points is like watching a kid expose the Wizard of Oz, pull back the curtain, and all that smoke and fire. Turns out, there's not much behind it. It's ruthless, precise, and honestly, exactly what her rhetoric invites. They dissect her contradictions with surgical flair, peeling back layers of buzzwords to reveal policy ideas that don't just fall flat, they collapse. Like when she talks about community safety while supporting reforms that even experts can't explain without a shrug. Some of her proposals sound like they were brainstormed with a magic 8-ball. When it comes to accountability, Crockett's record is slipperier than a politician mid-scandal. She dodges hard questions like she's in a political dodgeball tournament, ducking, spinning, and deflecting while clinging to her for the people persona. The result? A political brand about as convincing as a 3-bill. To put it bluntly, Jasmine Crockett is a walking contradiction wrapped in a Twitter thread, heavy on slogans, light on solutions. She's got the buzz without the backbone, the passion without the plan, and the speeches without a single step towards substance.
We let too much slide, because that's embarrassing. So what you're basically saying is Barack Obama was not the first black president now. So that means that Donald Trump is the first black president, according to you.
Yeah.
So at some point, and listen, I have been with every shade of woman on the planet. I started out black, and then I went Pacific Islander, Asian, had a little Hispanic phase, and then I ran out of to do and ended up with a white one. That's just how it happened. But they're all, I'm telling you, they all bitch the same, they all take your money the same, they all don't sleep with you all the time the same, and they all leave you the same.
Tyrus and Greg Gutfeld's pursuit of her is therefore more than simply a roast. It's a reality check. Avoiding responsibility and using the same old buzzwords won't get you anywhere. It results from working hard, making difficult choices, and, yes, confronting unpleasant realities. Crockett? She hasn't arrived yet. Perhaps she never will be. Therefore, the rest of us are forced to watch the political equivalent of a reality show, promising drama but delivering only disappointment, while she's busy crafting another vague change or posing for the next photo opportunity. Furthermore, it's not simply Crockett's issue in the long run. We are all affected by it.